Welcome back, guys. We are finally answering all the questions you dropped on our poll on Instagram about pregnancy. I am 32 weeks in 3 days today. 3 or 2 days.
Yeah.
And we did officially get an induction date yesterday, but we will talk more of that in a big update video because yesterday's doctor's appointment was quite literally crazy. So let's get into these questions.
Is this pregnancy easier than your first pregnancy?
I would say yes and no. Like, I feel like it's easier on my body, but at the same time harder because I have a toddler to like carry around, run around with, and I'm more active, where my first pregnancy was just more, I gained a lot more weight because I was just being lazy essentially. Like, I literally did nothing. I was able to relax and just be me. But I feel like comparison, they're really similar, and like the babies both being really good, on track, on everything.
I think this one's a little more scary. I feel like he's more at risk of coming a little earlier than Asher.
Yes, and that is true. And just like from our appointment the other day.
I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing because then we get to see him sooner.
But then he has to go to the NICU, and there's
so did the last one.
Yeah,
so.
But he was born at 36 weeks and 4 days.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't need a 32-weeker.
Well, I didn't say 32. I was just saying like maybe 35 would happen.
Okay, 35
Not that I'm
bad.
wishing for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's more of a risky fellow. He's trying to get out sooner is what he wants.
He really is. He's already head down too, so he's just ready.
He's like, there's not enough room in here.
There really isn't. His butt's up here, and I'm like feeling all the compression of it.
How are you preparing for a natural birth? I'd love to hear more on unmedicated birth.
Preparing wise, I'm working on my breathing. I've started my tea and my dates. I did this all with Asher, not even knowing.
I mean, those are things that you do with normal pregnancies as well, but it's just to help the baby hopefully get out quicker
and easier.
That's what I meant. Not
easier,
really quicker.
Not quicker. They want to become slower. But with Asher, I wasn't planning to do unmedicated. It just kind of like fell into my lap, and that's what we had to do. My water broke at 12 o'clock. Went to the hospital. I really didn't feel any contractions till I got to a 6, and then the contractions at a 6 were so intense that I ended up asking for an epidural, but there was no time to get an epidural because I went from a 6 to an 8 in like 20 minutes, and then 8 to 10 in like 15:30. So it was all rapidly fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like breathing, I was really working on my breathing a lot.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's much you can do to prepare yourself.
Just
honestly.
mentally, physically, you have to be so strong because like I told my doctor, like going into this one, like that I want to do unmedicated, but if I'm in labor for 7+ hours, I'm not going to strain my body on that because I want to enjoy birth and not dread it. But if it is as fast as Asher's was, I would say just like work on your mental game, breathing and like...
It's more for the benefit of after pregnancy.
Yes.
Like you suffer a little bit giving the birth. I mean, not a little bit. I mean, that's
a lot of it.
I'm glad that's not me in there because I'd be like, yeah, you can go ahead and just shove it right in my back. I'm done.
It's the recovery. Is like I felt so good after I literally like as soon as he came out, I could not even believe I just had a baby. Like, everything felt so good that I was like, oh, wow. And then I've heard so many different people that say they had the epidural and, like, they couldn't get up to pee. They couldn't do all these things. And for me, I literally walked out of my ER bed and walked up to
like, almost didn't even feel like...
Yeah.
Like, it felt normal that you didn't, like, really have any problems there.
Any pains or anything. And I didn't realize that people with epidurals felt all those pains until I started talking with moms that had both an unmedicated and an epidural and kind of started weighing my outcomes of like what I could do.
Not pregnancy related, but where are y'all moving?
That's a great question. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we really don't know. We just threw this in here for the pregnancy Q&A because we obviously hadn't set up like a official like nursery, room or anything like that.
We just have our pretty little corner over here,
yeah,
which
honestly,
we need to show them that soon, like it being done. We have our baby sprinkle tomorrow, so we can kind of show them tonight and get it, like, we're setting up tonight, so we can show them that too.
But yeah, no, we have no idea still. When did you first feel kicks? I'm waiting for mine 17 weeks.
I feel like it was around 2020. Wait, 2020
to
2020.
Quite a bit of time
20
ago,
to 22 weeks is when I really started.
I feel like it was like 22.
Yeah, I feel like it was too. It was later that I really felt it.
Insulin resistance setting in. What are your carb ratios going into third trimester?
Third trimester, she switched it in my Omnipod where I think it's in the morning. I get a unit of insulin for every 4 carbs. And then in the afternoon, I get a unit of insulin for every 3 carbs. She did boost those down a little bit to help with that, but she told me that I could.
If you boosted them, technically they wouldn't go down.
I mean, she did drop
them. There we go.
She dropped them, but she said to watch my carbs because say I put in normally 45 carbs for a meal, put in 40 if I notice my blood sugars are dropping, and how this helped really good. My number change last time was so good that we didn't change it this time. So we've hit like a good spot right now. Obviously, week by week, it could change. But thank goodness for right now, everything is pretty good. It is a little tougher, obviously, but it's been pretty good.
Has the baby been very active, more active than the first?
I would say yes. Like, I remember like a few kicks from Asher. But like Bentley, I like actively feel him.
Yeah.
All the time, I feel like.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like it's the difference between the poundage there. Like,
yeah,
the way I was bigger with Asher than this one. And
Asher's were like more different for me because like I like was like that's cool, but like this one I'm just like nice.
You're like, oh,
he's just kicking,
and I'm like, be excited.
I mean, it's cool, but I'm just like, it's not like the first one where it's like, wow, you've never felt a baby kick unless you're just touching random pregnant people's bellies, which you probably really shouldn't do that. What's your cravings, salty or sweet or mixture of both?
Honestly, I had all of my cravings in like the first trimester, and now it's just like normal food. I will say recently chips.
Yeah.
I've been craving a lot of chips and like different flavored drinks. But
I
always want something different because all we drink is water.
But nothing like weird or anything like crazy like that.
No, I will say sushi does sound good to me, and I never
you've been saying sushi for a while.
But obviously I can't have sushi.
You can have cooked meat sushi.
But they don't have that around here at the stores. Like I
can make you a sushi. No, I cannot make. I can't even make like normal food.
Maybe we'll just wait till I give birth and then.
Yeah, you probably don't want to eat my sushi. Do you take a birth class?
We didn't with our first, and we're not with our second, because.
We're just not like class people, honestly. Like I
believe my body's gonna do whatever my body's gonna do, and I'm set up for the right thing.
Oh, is birth class about that? I thought that was like with the baby, like where you had like the practice baby doll, or is that like
birth class is where you practice birthing?
Oh, okay. What's the other one called? Then baby classes or something?
Those are like parenting classes.
Parenting
in high school.
That's exactly what my brain went to. I didn't even realize like birth.
Next question, we're done with that one.
Sorry guys. Have you ever thought of having a home birth or birth center?
No.
What's a birth center?
You like just a birthing center. Like it's not like kind of like doulas and stuff are set up there. Not like all the nurses and everything. But
that sounds peaceful.
With me being a diabetic, I've never thought about doing any of that, and I don't think I would even if I wasn't.
You wouldn't trust me birthing your kid?
No.
I wouldn't either. I'd probably pass out.
Yes, you would.
Rules for when baby comes. I'm gonna assume this means like family and like things like that.
Obviously, rule number 1 that every person should know, and if you're watching this and you know someone's about to have a baby, do not kiss their baby. Like that is like the biggest like
and
no
just
kissing.
Be like Mr. Humberflu when they come in with that Germ-X.
No kissing. One thing we've done is the people that are gonna get to see the baby know who they are. If they are not one that have been told or in the picture, they should obviously know they're not going to see the baby. It's
pretty much like very immediate family. Like very pretty much immediate. Our parents.
I definitely just want to keep it small because I really want to soak in this time with not only having a newborn, but having a toddler that's still getting adjusted to it.
We'll probably have someone here for like the first week, and it's more for help with Asher than for
just to get us adjusted. But I don't want Asher to leave the house because I don't want to get set in a routine of not having him here.
Yeah, and then him like
coming
be like,
back.
What's going on here? Why is there another baby?
Or like I don't want him to feel betrayed, or I want life to feel normal right away, which obviously is going to be hard, but it's like it's going to be easier on not only Asher but us if we all get to do it together.
Just knowing that like obviously he's going to have to be here with the baby majority of the time anyways.
Exactly. I would say probably another rule. Shoes off at the door. That's one I always did because it tracks in so much stuff.
Well, that's just like a normal rule for us.
Well, some people don't do that, but we always do that.
Yeah. Do you wear shoes in the house or do you not? Because like I feel like I meet more people that wear their shoes in the house. Are you scared for birth? I'm personally terrified.
I would say I'm not scared. I'm just anxious about it because obviously I have multiple options being a diabetic. I have to be induced if I don't go naturally before a certain week. And I don't know. I'm more worried about having not go as good as like the first like.
Yeah, it's hard because we already had like a really good birth. I mean, he went
on
to
my side.
He went to the NICU for 4 days, which wasn't horrible compared.
And
to
there wasn't
most.
life-threatening things. It was jaundice. It was his clavicle broke because he got stuck, but it wasn't anything life-threatening.
I personally don't think it was the NICU that was as bad. It was just like not holding him for like that first.
It was the way every NICU is different, and sometimes they bring the baby to you. Sometimes they let you hold the baby, or they let you have the baby in your room. But I physically was like in my hospital room alone for 3 days with no baby.
Yeah, and we never got to touch him before he went away.
Never got to touch him before he went away. So I feel like I'm just hoping and praying for like just a very peaceful birth is all I want with this one. Just like
just to be able to hold him as soon as he comes out.
And it'd be amazing if we got to keep him. Like if he had to go to the NICU, obviously I want what's best done for him.
Or if he could go to the NICU and come to our room, that'd be fine too. It's just
it's
just so weird that like there's like rules that you can't see your kid. Obviously I know there's reasons and like precautions. I'm not saying like they're just doing it to torture us, but
it felt like they were taking our kid away and we didn't even give birth. Like
Can you make a what's in my hospital bag for all 3 of you? Honestly, thank you for asking that because I do need to get my bags.
He does.
back.
I've told him that, and we are. I don't know if any other parents have thought of this or like whatever, but since we don't have family here, I am making Asher a little bag that like if we have our backup people to come and get him from the hospital that are right here, that he has a bag already in the car. It has his diapers, it has wipes, it has clothes, it has snacks, it has toys. It's just like a comfort bag for him. And then obviously I have a temporary bag packed right now, but I was waiting for our baby sprinkle to make sure I had everything I wanted in there because your mom makes personalized things. So I knew she was going to make some personalized something I would want for Bentley to put in there. So we will be doing that next week, filming that. So I'm excited to like finally have my hospital bag packed and ready for the car.
Do you feel more prepared than you did the first time?
Yes.
100%.
I think too, going like the first one happened so fast I was just in shock. But like this one I'm just like, you know, it's going to happen no matter what. Like, that one kind of showed me, like, you can go into labor whenever or you cannot. Like, we're over here thinking I'm going to go early and watch me not because we're over here thinking...
Oh, I have no clue. I don't know anything about birth. It's just, like, the most random thing. Like, you never know what's going to happen. I feel like that's the hardest part about it. It's, like, nothing is usually planned.
Yeah, and you really can't control anything on the inside without going in for birth. So it's like...
Even, like, if you get an induction schedule, like, you still never know, like, what's going to happen. Like,
or you don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah. You're going to have... Yeah. Do y'all want any more after this one?
It's such a hard question. Yeah, we have really...
I have an answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
Birthing, no.
Yes.
Because I was like, I think you're just thinking birthing. Birthing, no. Adoption, maybe in the future. I'm not saying we will, but...
I think the number we put on it is we are at least waiting 5 years to see how we feel
barring our mind changing, obviously. We can't predict what we'll think in 3 years.
And, like, honestly, we can have things done to prevent us having kids, and we could still get pregnant. Thank you guys so much for asking these questions. I hope we answered all of them the best we could. Next video, like I said, well, actually the next, until we give birth, they're going to be... quite literally insane. All right. We love you all. So does Jesus.
See ya. Peace.